Before going into the topic details, I want to bring your attention to the UPSC coaching programs offered by ClearIAS. ClearIAS offers online and offline courses to help candidates get selected for prestigious government services like IAS, IPS, or IFS. ClearIAS, Prelims cum Mains, PCM course, provides a highly effective study plan, well-organized subject-wise videos, study materials, mock exams, and guidance to cover the entire GS syllabus of UPSC CSE Prelims, Mains, and Interview systematically. As a limited-period offer, there is a 40% discount on our online courses. Enroll now.
Ethics is a branch of philosophy which deals with what is right and what is wrong. So it's a very simple definition, but the difficulty comes after that. So what is right? What is wrong? Who decides that? That is the problem. What can be right for somebody can be wrong for the other person, right? It can be right for one person, it can be wrong for the other. What can be right for Abhijit may be a wrong thing for Aparna. What ethics is the study about what is right and what is wrong. So that shows that this thing is relative, right? So it's not a very, when you learn about ethics, there are two types of ethics, or two classifications of ethics. Or one side says that ethics is absolute. What is right is fixed. What is wrong is fixed. So it will not change from place to place, people to people, time to time. What is right is fixed. What is wrong is fixed. It will not change from place to place, time to time. So they are people who are for absolute ethics. So ethics is something which is absolute in nature, universal in nature, it will not change. There are certain sections of people who believe that ethics is like that. And then there are certain sections of people who considers that there is nothing like absolute ethics. There is nothing like absolutely right or absolutely wrong, or every time that is a right thing or every time that is a wrong thing. There is nothing like that. And certain aspects which are considered right may change place to place, situation to situation, time to time. So such things are there. Those who think that ethics are right, ethics is always absolute and universal, such branch is known as absolute ethics. And those who say that ethics is relative and it can change from time to time, place to place, situation to situation, they call that branch as relative ethics. So absolute ethics, relative ethics. So these are the main two branches of ethics. And we will see over the course of the time. In my class, maybe I will take many classes in the coming days, not on a frequent basis. Intermittently, you will get ethics classes. So over the time, you will understand whether ethics is absolute or ethics is relative. I'm not disclosing that now. Let's keep that as a surprise. We will learn through the class and we'll find the answer, whether ethics is absolute or whether ethics is relative. And we'll start with some examples. Do you know what is apartheid? Apartheid is a racial discrimination between blacks and whites in South Africa. Nelson Mandela fought against apartheid, right, in South Africa. So there is a racial discrimination between blacks and white in South Africa. So apartheid, when it was practiced in South Africa, at that time was legal. It was not illegal. It was perfectly as per the laws in that country. So everybody who practiced that believed that was right. That is a right thing to do. Only after Nelson Mandela fought against that, people came to know that, or people realized that that is not the right thing. So what was right at one time became a crime later. At that time, that was legal, then it became a crime. So that shows the subjective nature of what is right and what is wrong. Similarly, you know about slavery. Even in the USA, now the Western country, previously there was slavery, right? Who abolished slavery in USA? Abraham Lincoln, the president of United States, right? Until Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery, slavery was legal in America. So they brought people from Africa and many other areas and they made them work as slaves. So slavery was normal, it was ethical. It is not only legal, that was ethical also. Nobody found any fault in slavery being practiced in America. So that was ethical, that was considered ethical that time, but Abraham Lincoln thought it was not. Are you able to follow that examples? So can you people think of similar things? Like, what are the things in the present society? What are the things that exist which are not ethical? I mean, which may be legal, but you think that is not ethical. So the three things, I will explain each of the three words. One word is ethics, second is morals, third is legal. Ethics, morals, laws. I mean, what is as per the laws is the legal thing, right? Each of the terms we know, we'll discuss, but just have a thought, like what is in the present Indian society, let's take Indian society, or even the world society as such. Can you think some of the items that are there, existing in the society, still practiced, but not ethical? In your sense, that is not ethical. In your viewpoint, in your opinion. Discrimination based on caste and then dowry system is what I think is unethical. Just too many other examples. Okay. So dowry, as per Abhijit, is a unethical thing. But is it now illegal in India? Is it illegal? Is dowry prohibited by any law in India? Dowry is prohibited, right? It is widely considered unethical also. I mean, if it is, it's legal and not appreciated, but it is practiced. Even the law is not successful in prohibiting that. As per the law, it is prohibited, but it is still widely practiced. So, Abhijit says that is unethical. Okay, and discrimination based on the caste. So, yeah, that is a good point. The first point I will take. The discrimination based on caste, Abhijit says that it is unethical. But now, is there a discrimination based on caste in India? Even the reservation system itself is a discrimination based on caste, right? We have a legal system. As of now, it's a constitutional provision also to have a discrimination based on the caste. Discriminating. I mean, even the UPSC exam, there are 1,000 vacancies. There are only like 40% merit seat. That means only 400 seats are in merit section and 600 seats are in reservation section. In the merit seats, even the reserved category can also compete. But in the reservation section, the merit cannot compete. They can only compete. General category can compete only in the merit section. But reservation category can compete in the merit. Also, they will get the reservation. It's like in the buses, some seats are reserved for the ladies. And the male population cannot sit on the female, those seats reserved for them. But female can sit on the unreserved, seats. The same way is the situation in most of the government exams, not only in UPSC, not only in government exams, but now in the IITs, IIMs, in the higher educational system, institutions also, that is the case. So what the point is that whether that is ethical, that is legal, everybody knows that is legal. In India, that is constitutionally approved. But whether that is ethical or not. Now the argument from the lawmakers, the parliamentarians who brought such a provision is that this is not a negative discrimination, this is a positive discrimination. That is what they are saying. This is a positive discrimination in order to bring social changes, in order to uplift the society, backward sections. So this is a positive discrimination, not a negative discrimination. This is a discrimination. There is no doubt about that. This is discrimination. People are not treated equally, right? In an exam, for example, when I wrote the exam, I secured like 700 marks. People with 600 marks actually are in service now. I am actually teaching you. I'm happy, but the case is that it's not purely on merit. If it's merit, I would have been in service. This is a positive discrimination. Somebody, even though they scored less marks than me, they are in service. Correct. I don't have any objections to that. But this system, again, like every human-made systems, this is not a perfect system. That is the case. That is why now we are hearing stories like many candidates who do not deserve the reservation. They are forging certificates to claim the reservation. Taking out the duly. There are many candidates who duly deserve the reservation. Many weaker sections of the society, many people actually are from very weaker sections. They need the reservation to come out from their backwardness. But they are not getting the benefit. But some affluent sections among the backward classes, they are getting the benefit, or some are even faking certificates. That is the case. So even now that if that was system was 100% successful, it would not have continued even like 75 years after independence. Initially the provision was supposed to be for 10 years. But every year it's now like a vote bank politics also. No government will touch on that. But that is a case. What is ethical and unethical? Let's focus back to that. Reservation is actually a very big topic. We need to discuss that when we learn the polity aspects, governance aspects. At that time, we'll discuss this in detail. But yeah. So it's whether that is ethical or not. Again, the viewpoint can vary. One person may think that is ethical. One person may think that is not ethical. So the opinion can vary. So who will decide what is right and what is wrong? That is actually what we are learning in this. Again, come up with similar examples. Giving money for votes, very good, very good. Particularly in many South Indian states, that is relevant, right? Like giving freebies, even giving money directly to vote for a candidate. That is actually illegal to some extent, but freebies per se are not illegal. But there is an ethical angle. Giving something just before the election and pleasing the populistic measures. These are called populist measures. And this is not making any productive things in the country. Just to gain votes, they are doing something that can be considered unethical, right? And something which is legal, can you think of something like this? Think in this direction. This is legal in the country, but in your opinion, I am not in favor of that. I find that as an unethical practice. The government running liquor shops it's legal. But it's unethical. Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, that can be your personal opinion, but very, very relevant. The government, for the sake of getting money or taxes or whatever be the case, running liquor shops, asking the people to buy it from the government, and at the same time running government hospitals, treating the disorders because of the liquor consumption and trying to manage the social problems because of the liquor consumption. So it's a double stand. There is no integrity, right? There is no integrity. So what is the term when there is a double stand like that? Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. So integrity, if you know hypocrisy, then you will understand what is integrity. Integrity is somewhat opposite to hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is saying something, doing the opposite. That is hypocrisy. So the government running hospitals to treat those who are suffering from alcohol-related diseases, and at the same time running beverage shops is hypocrisy. Maybe they want the income from that. That can be one of the major income of the government. But there should be, government should Ideally, the government should be ashamed, right? It's not only the Tamil Nadu government, even the Kerala government. Kerala also situation is the same. In many states where alcohol consumption, public sale is permitted, it is the same. The government is unable to produce income from the other means, and they are intoxicating the citizens or the general public to get revenue. What is ethical in that? Again, opinion vary. I am also not being absolute here. There should be counter opinion. That should be the case. But what am I saying is that there can be an argument that is not ethical. Okay. Yeah. The point raised is with the consumption of cannabis. Again, it is illegal in India. The point raised is that why should it be illegal, or it should not be considered unethical, considering the possible medical effects. Is that the case, right? Maybe.
I think that's what we said when it is that the liquor is legal.
Why when liquor is legal, why not cannabis? That is the point. Huh? Okay. Maybe there can be justifications, but we are just taking examples so that you will start thinking. As of now, the Supreme Court judges, there is nothing prohibiting the Supreme Court judges accepting the other constitutional post. You might have heard recently, a Supreme Court judge, after his retirement, took the post of a governor in a particular state. The post of a governor is a political appointment. So if the Supreme Court judge immediately after his retirement is rewarded with the post of a governor by a political party, it is likely that his decisions, how can one assure that his decisions when he took as the Chief Justice of India were unbiased? There is an ethical aspect in that. Are you getting my point? So it's legal. There is nothing debarring anybody. What is it ethical? That is a question. Now, so many examples I can give. Each of these are significant for your GS as well. Questions can come asking you to analyze. Now, a candidate appearing in elections can contest from two states, two constituencies. A candidate can contest from two constituencies. But a citizen cannot vote in two constituencies. He can only vote in one constituency. And when a candidate, if the candidate wins from both constituencies, there will be re-election. Anyway, he can take the membership of only one constituency. There will be re-election. The re-election will add expenses. That expenses are now met from the taxpayers' money. This is a legal provision in India. Whether that is ethical, that is another aspect which we may need to debate. Euthanasia. What is euthanasia? Mercy killing. Like taking the life. Somebody is telling, I'm suffering from a chronic disease. I'm suffering so much pain. It's better to take my life than letting me suffer this pain. I'm willingly letting you to take my life. So that is euthanasia. The person is willing, his life can be taken out. Whether that is ethical, whether that should be legalized, so many questions. So ethics is actually, in such a scenario, the concept is easy, it's about right and wrong. But what is right, what is wrong, not easy to understand. Nobody can conclusively say that is right or wrong. So many aspects, so many dimensions, we need to analyze, think, and finally, we have to ourselves come up in an opinion, whether that should be done or not. On some instances, there can be a universal acceptance. On some, it may not be there. On some instances, at present, there may not be a universal acceptance because it may be legal. But later, even the lawmakers also, the public opinion is strongly against that. The lawmakers will be forced to take out that provision and then it will become illegal. All these things which I just mentioned, like the judges taking constitutional post or the candidates taking contesting from two constituencies. All these can maybe like 5-10 years become unconstitutional as well or illegal. It can, there is a possibility. But until then, it's legal. But whether that is ethical or not, then we will need to discuss the terms like what is ethical, what is moral, what is legal.